Hey, how's it going, everybody? So, today I want to talk to you about one of the greatest tests of your character, especially in your walk with God. It's one of my chin hairs getting gray, but especially in your walk with God, right? There's a lot of great tests of character. When you're in poverty, that's a huge, great test of character. When you're on top of the world, that's an even bigger test of character because the more power you have to do right or wrong. And when you have more power than somebody in a situation, that put you in a position of having your character tested through what you choose to do. But this ain't really about that. It's kind of up about that. It's going to sound a little bit like it, but it's not. It's about your rights. What you have a right to do is one of the greatest tests of your character. See, the things you don't have a right to do, like, man, you shouldn't do that because you don't have a right to do that. But, like, nobody gave you all the room in the world to do that. It's like, like that is a test of character. But the greater is when you got a right or when you believe you got a right. Okay? I was just sitting here thinking, why is it that Satan is such a legal being? How come Satan is always playing legal games, always looking for rights, always looking for a foothold, always looking for enough room to accuse you, enough room to lie on you, enough room to kill, steal, and destroy? Why is Satan really like that? He's really like that for this one reason. Most people who want to justify wrongdoing, they usually do that through rights. That is what allows people to not have a conscience about wrongdoing, is when they look for reasons to have rights. Most of the dirtiest wrongdoing is when somebody believed they had a right, because there is no telling how far they are willing to go specifically because of their right. Have you ever heard somebody say that? I had a right to trip. I had a right to be mad. I had a right to not talk to you again. I had a right to do this. I had a right to do that. I had a right to this and I had a right to that. But let me ask you a question. Is your right really worth the problems that'll come out of you doing what you're doing? I had a right to act that way, but is your right to act that way really worth the problems that's going to come out of you exercising your right to act that way? And most of the time, people don't even have rights. They have what they justify as a right over a misunderstanding. They didn't even take the time to listen to what you said, and they took what it sounded like you was trying to say and not even hearing everything you did say, and then they took matters to the extreme because, but to them, it sounded like they had a right to start, yelling and cussing and defending themselves in such hostile ways and all of these other things. It's a great test of your character. It's my car. I got a right to put you out of my car in the middle of a road trip. All because why? You made me mad. It's like, but is your right to do that really worth me having to walk all the way back home? Well, I got a right because it's mine. Okay, I don't know if a lot of people understand this. It's not through the things you don't have a right to do that God is really weighing your character the most. Because one thing he do understand is that man is liable to be sinful. Okay? It's through them things you do have a right to do that's going to really spell all the difference in your life. about how he chooses to deal with you. The stuff you don't got a right to do, okay, we know that, right? And I'm not trying to make light of what people don't have rights to do. But it's like we know those things already. But what we never talk about is the things people believe they do have rights to do that really alter the way God chooses to deal with them. Right? Like, let's say your husband did something he shouldn't have done, and you exercised all your rights to throw all his stuff out and divorce him. All because of your right to do it. Like, I got a right to do this now. But is it always worth your right? And then a lot of times we'd be the same people to say, I want God to forgive me. I want God's grace. I want God's mercy. But you get to have all your rights? I mean, yes, you do get to have all your rights. But all you really doing is saying, God, like, I want you to reward me according to my ways. I exercised all my rights to do even what I knew was not beneficial. And therefore, you should exercise all your rights to do to me even what is not beneficial. If you choose not to provide for me, then you got a right to not do that, because when I had it to give, I chose not to, because I had a right to not do it. When I had the ability to forgive somebody for wrongdoing, I chose to hold it against them forever, because I had a right to do that, because they shouldn't have done such a thing. And you ain't even looking at all the things you've done all your life that he forgave you for. Your whole life. Your whole life. Man, if somebody step on your shoes in the store, well, I got a right to step on theirs back, but it was an accident. So what? I got a right to do it. Well, is your right to step on their shoes back really worth like y'all getting into a fight in front of the kids? Is that really worth all that? Well, they should have never gave me a right. It's like, you know what? I'm sure God is going to remember that next time you do something wrong and want forgiveness. I'm sure he going to remember that next time when you get in debt and you want them to forgive a debt you owe. I'm sure he going to remember that next time when you don't meet quota and you want somebody to give you more time and more patience. I'm sure he gonna remember that next time when you standing there in court and you want the judge to give you 90 more days to make it right. And you already on your third warning. I'm sure he gonna remember that next time. You really gotta take account of what rights you choose to exercise. It would be the same people with our hand open. Oh God, please do this for me. Oh God, please do that for me. I need somebody's help with this. I need somebody's help with that. But they got a right to not help you. Just like you had a right and you chose to exercise all your rights when somebody else needed you and you chose not to be there for them, or you chose to give and then take back from them just because it was yours. Just because you bought it. You chose to take it from somebody else that needed it more than you just because you bought it. And just because they made you mad, now you got a right to do that. People will make you mad. God gave us salvation by grace. It is through the divine grace and mercy of God that we still alive today. He had the right to end this world the day Adam sinned. He had a right to destroy you the first time you ever told a lie. He had a right. He chose to not exercise his rights. He said, you know what, instead, I think I want to save them because I think I want them to enter the kingdom. I want to give them a chance to choose righteousness over their rights. I want to give them a chance to choose me and escape the damnation of hell. But one thing I need them to know is that they don't deserve it, and they're not entitled to it. And I got a right to not give it to them if that's what I choose to do, and I'm still choosing them. I'm still choosing to reach down and help them, even after they spit on me time after time. I'm still choosing to participate in the functions of their life and seeing them through all the hardship in their life, even though, heck, they got themselves in this mess. And I got a right to not do it if I so choose to, and I'm still choosing to. How do you want him to deal with you? Because like some of y'all be the ones who be having the most hardship, who be needing the most help with things, who be having the most questions and need the most answers. But every time it's your turn to show mercy. Every time it's your turn to just, you know what? I can make their life real hard if I wanted to. And they gave me every right to do that. I just find it more beneficial that you just learn that I'm not here like to make your life hard. I just want you to play fair with me. I just find it more beneficial that you understand that I love you and I'm not here to beat you down about everything you do wrong. I just find it more beneficial that you show mercy the same way you were shown mercy. But sometimes people don't want to show mercy because they've been shown mercy their whole life. They take mercy for granted. But sometimes people don't give the same grace to others that was given to them because they've been babied their whole life. They've been slapped on the wrist their whole life. But they always found a way to get out of trouble their whole life. They need it for nothing their whole life. And they just think life owed them something. And I mean, they might not think life owed them something, but they act like life do. They live like life do. They respond to things as though life do. Sometimes people need to be cut short just for a time until they say, why am I in this position? I don't even deserve this. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You do deserve it. You deserve much worse than that. You deserve every inch of it. And then God will start bringing back to their memory everything they done. All the times they exercise their little rights to this and they rights to that and they rights to like you know what I'm saying? He gonna start showing them that. And they gonna be sitting there one day saying, Lord, please just forgive me for what I did wrong. I need your help getting out of the problem I'm in. He gonna start bringing their sins up to their memory. And when they don't have any peace about whether or not they were forgiven, no peace, it's like they gotta live under that shame for such a long time. Then that's when they gonna start thinking, like, you know what? Okay, I see what's going on here now. I need to be the change I want to see in my life. I need to be the person I wish I had. I need to be to others what the Most High has been to me. And they be the main ones depressed, angry, sad, confused, downtrodden, loathing themselves all the time. And self-loathing is about a whole lot of other things, but still, it be more of that in their life than it should be, all because they don't show mercy. He said those who show mercy will be shown mercy. That means you choose not to do what you got a right to do. Right? You choose not to do even what you got a right to do. Like, I got a right to do this. Like, I got a right to divorce them for what they did. But to me, it's more beneficial to work out my marriage. It's more beneficial for them to see that there are people out here who really do represent the Most High God. And they start in their own ways. And the decisions they can make and choose not to make. And why? Because God was like that for me. Now, who would I be to hold your head to the flame and make you pay to the last penny, all because you owe me something, when he forgave all my debt? I mean, like, don't y'all remember that parable he talked about the servant he had, and he had to stand before the king one day. I forgot how this parable go word for word. I would grab my tablet and read it. And he had to stand before the king one day, and the king was bringing up all the debts he owed. And he kept on crying to the king, please give me more time. Please give me more time. Please give me more time. And he said, you know what I'll do? Because you asked, I will forgive all your debt. And that same guy who the king forgave of all his debt, somebody else owed him a whole lot less. And he went and held their heads to the flame over somebody else owing them a whole lot less. And his fellow servants heard about what he did. And the king caught wind of that, and he was like, I forgave you all that debt, and this is what you do to your fellow servant that owe you? You should have showed them the same mercy I showed you. And because you did that, he got locked in prison for all that he did owe the king at first. Look, he got locked in prison for it, and his family got sold into slavery until his debt was paid off. That's how a lot of people's lives are. All because what? I had a right and I took it. Even though it was more beneficial if I would have forgave you. You owed me, not me owed you, and I had a right to come after you for it. Even though I was forgiven of a lot of things I did wrong. Even though I was forgiven of a lot of debt I owed. So what? The king shouldn't have been stupid enough to let me off the hook. I ain't letting nobody off the hook. Oh, okay. And the king is going to catch wind of that and make sure you pay to the last penny everything you did owe. You and your household. A lot of people think God is not like that. It's right there in the Bible. I don't know what people think. Like, I don't know what make people think that God is infinitely forgiving with them, even if they're not infinitely forgiving with other people. It's going to be a matter of time before he do to you exactly what you do to everybody else. And let's get back to that subject. Like, you putting somebody out of your car in the middle of a road trip just because you had a right to, because it was your car and they made you mad. It'll be a matter of time before you fall asleep in that same car and the repo man come pick it up and you get put out of your own car. Well, I mean, really, it was theirs at that point. And you still owe $10,000 on it, even after they took it. You really got to sit back and watch your way. Some of our lives are too far out on a limb. Too far out on a limb. All we need to do is miss one paycheck. A whole lot of stuff in our life can change overnight. All we need to do is to have our ability to walk taken from us. All we need to do is to get sick for 2 weeks and can't make it to work and get fired. a whole lot of stuff in our lives can be taken from us, and that'll change our lives forever, because we deal with other people like this. The people that needed us, we treated them like they were disposable. And what we don't see is that we needed them more than they really needed us. A lot of households are suffering over rights. Look, two people who exercise both of their rights. I got a right to yell back at you because you yelled at me. I got a right to trip because you said you was and you didn't. I got a right to think what I want to think because you gave me a reason to think. I got a right. Look, bro. A house divided against itself will never be able to stand. Ever. And it don't take two people to be divided. All it takes is one. All it takes is one person, and that house can be divided. It don't take two for anything to go wrong. It do take two for anything to go right. And you hear a lot of people say, oh, it take two. No, it don't. It don't take two for a household to fall apart. It don't take two for a marriage to fall apart. It only take one person. It take one person's behavior for anything to fall apart, but yet it take so much more participation for things to go right. So much more. All it takes for me to do is to continue sinning against God. Me and him will fall out of relationship. But yet it take his grace and his mercy and my obedience and my willingness to change and my willingness to pray and my willingness to appreciate the salvation he gave me in order for both of us to work. But for both of us to not work, it only take me. It don't take him. All that it take two when stuff go wrong is not the right way of looking at it. It just don't. The only way anything will go right is with everybody's participation. If everybody stopped and said, okay, look, I know I got a right to be mad, but it's really not worth me having an attitude the rest of the week, all because I exercised my right to be mad. You saw me act that way, so then you exercise your right to get mad back. And then we never got along from that day forward. All it really take is rights. It don't even take wrongdoing, it take rights. Honestly, it really do. Yeah, you really do got a right to trip. You told your kids to clean the house. Before you got off work, they messed around and fell asleep. You got a right to trip. You really do got a right to trip. But y'all had a vacation plan this week. What you gonna do? Cancel it? You can't even get your money back on the dang on cabin. You can't even get your money back for the rental car. You still got to pay for that. Is exercising your rights really worth all that? Or should you just start handing out whoopings and then everybody can get up and, do what you said and then we can go? Like, we really got to change our attitude toward how we deal with people. I can have every right in the world to make somebody pay me back to the last penny what they owe me. I would rather sit here and say this. The same way God has forgiven me of all my sins, it's the same way I want to forgive you of your debt. If I got to figure it out from here on out, it matters more to me, for you to know that my Father in heaven is forgiving through how I am with you. I want to see you make it into the kingdom, but somehow, some way, somebody in this world need to let you know that God loved you the same way he loved me. That could really change somebody's life forever. All over a debt they owed you. You can change their lives forever over a debt they owed you. from that day forward, they were on fire for Christ. All because they owed you money. All because they owed the right person some money. Like, yeah, I'm the right person to owe money. I am. I'm the right person. Like, I'm the right person to do wrong. I am. Like, I really am. Because if I chose to exercise my right to do wrong, it's going to happen correctly. And you would never forget that. You'd be like, okay, I'm going to remember that. And there are things you do need to exercise your rights on. But you really got to ask yourself, is you exercising your right to take things to the absolute extreme worth the problems that come out of it? Can you even see the problems that can come out of it? Some people can't see that far. All they can see is what they feel like they need to do right now. But they can't see no further than that. So what you gonna do after you do this? What's gonna happen after this? Like, what's gonna happen like tomorrow after this is done? Well, I don't know. All I know is this is what I want to do today. I think I want to knock their head off. Okay, what's gonna happen after you knock their head off? What, you go to jail for domestic violence? Well, I got a right to knock their head off. They hit me first. Yeah, I know that. But that was 2 days ago. You should have done that then. Like, you know what I'm saying? And no, you still shouldn't do that, man. Still. Heck, you got a right to leave. Do that if that's what it is. Like, heck, man, like, once you dealing with something like that, man, don't talk to them again. Heck no. Dead serious. Oh, I got a right to cut you off. But is that what's beneficial? Are you doing more justice for the world by cutting somebody off? Or are you doing more justice for the world by reaching out to them and letting them understand, like, hey, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here to be the same kind of people that you always knew in your life. I'm not here to be just like your ex. I was never anything like any of them. In fact, I'm not nothing like anybody you know. Nobody. It seemed like, man, like some of the people with the biggest hearts always get done the worst. Always. You want to know why people with the biggest hearts get done the worst? Because it allowed people who love exercising their rights to take things to the extreme. It allowed them an opportunity to exercise their rights and still have you in their life because they know you're patient. They know, like, you're forgiving. They know you show mercy. But the thing about it is when a person with a good heart never talk to you again, oh, that'll be the last person with a good heart you will run into in a long time, like for a long time. And I mean, like, life don't always work that way. Like, if God chose to exercise his rights with you for mistreating somebody who always meant well for you, who always meant well to you, if God chose to exercise his rights the same way a lot of y'all want to exercise your rights, he will make sure you are never happy again, ever. And you will never be satisfied with it either. You will long to be happy and can't. But he will make sure you will never have peace with the fact that you would just never be happy. Never. If God chose to exercise all his rights, he can literally frustrate somebody out of nothing. He can literally break a person's heart and ain't nothing happen. All he got to do is turn a knob somewhere at his little control station, and he can change the way you feel from this day forward, forever. He can really do that. If God chose to get back at you for every little thing you don't do that he expect, but the same way you try and get back at everybody else for not doing every little thing that they expect, when they expect it and how they expect it. If he chose to be that same way with you, he could make it, like, he can literally make it to where little small things that add up throughout your day that frustrate you all day long forever. Small things, you know, you burning your toast. All right, that's how your morning started. Burnt toast, just like yesterday. Burnt pancakes. Now your car won't start. Now you're 10 minutes late to work. Like just like yesterday, right? Burnt toast, that's a small thing. You know, your car not starting right away, that's a small thing, right? But then he can make it to where you also forget your name tag. That's part of your uniform. But now you not only showed up late, you also got to go all the way back home to get your name tag. Now that's 2 points you done got. Like, he can make it to where little small things like that add up throughout the rest of your days forever. All because of how you deal with others. Like, God is nobody to play with. And that's why you can't be playing with everybody. Like, sometimes your rights are not right at all. It's just to you, you gave yourself room for wrongdoing. Honestly, the greatest test of anybody's character is their right. If your boss came at you funny, do you then come back at your boss funny, or do you keep your job? Right? Like that. I'm like, that's how you got to look at stuff sometime. Like, you know what? I'm not even about to argue with you. I got a job to do. I got stuff to do with my money. I don't think me exercising my right to get mouthy back with you the way you got mouthy with me is really worth me losing my job over. Some of y'all would not even care about what gets destroyed so long as you exercise your right to have an attitude and then take it to the utmost extreme. So long as you have a right to go tit for tat with somebody because they going tit for tat with you, sneak dissing you on Facebook. Is you sneak dissing them back the way they sneak dissed you? Is that worth your time? I mean, people gonna then start looking at you like, bro, like, what do you be posting? Why? Like, who is you talking about? Like, I liked you until you started saying all this. They don't even know what you're talking about. But now you done lost 10 customers because you want to sneak this back with somebody. And you sound like an idiot. Like, sometimes your rights is not right. According to how you want God to be with you, that is. Because God blesses the house of the righteous. But it's a curse on the house of the unrighteous. It really is. Like, that stuff is true. It really is true. Heck, man, like, you ever had appliances break down once a week? Dang, now we need a new stove. Man, just fixed the stove. Dang, now we need a new fridge. Just fixed the fridge. Dang, now the bathtub broke. Like, that's what a curse on the house of the unrighteous look like. It's not even about you even making enough money to do something. Like, sometimes the problem is not even whether or not you make enough money to solve a problem. The problem is, are you not being costed money that turn into problems? Man, all these mosquitoes back here. I'm going in the house. This backyard is crazy. And I think I done got to the end of everything I'm saying. Like, your rights can actually be a curse. Well, it can actually come around to curse you. It really can. It really can. Always take note of that. How do you want God to deal with you? That's how you deal with everybody else from here on out. Peace.